Introduction: The Unseen War Within. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into something most men experience but rarely talk about. It's a silent battle that rages inside every single one of us. Every single day, a war where the stakes aren't just about winning or losing, but about who you ultimately become. On one side of this battlefield, you have the powerful pull of quick pleasure. Let's call it lust, not just sexual desire, but the craving for instant gratification in all its forms. It's that whisper in your ear telling you to scroll just 5 more minutes, to chase that fleeting validation on social media, to constantly seek external approval, or to pursue someone just for the thrill of the chase. This side promises you immediate highs, a quick fix, a fast feeling of good. It tells you that chasing attention, chasing women, chasing validation is the way to feel alive, to feel important, to feel anything at all. And let's be honest, in a world that constantly pushes us towards instant everything, instant food, instant entertainment, instant success, that whisper can be incredibly compelling, right? But then, there's the other side, a quieter, often less glamorous force, but infinitely more powerful in the long run: discipline. This side asks something fundamentally different of you. It doesn't promise instant rewards. Instead, it asks for patience. It demands that you build. It nudges you to trust that something far greater, something truly fulfilling, is waiting for you if you have the strength to delay gratification, to put in the work, and to stay true to a bigger vision. Discipline tells you to lift one more rep, to save that extra dollar, to focus on your long-term goals instead of getting sidetracked by every shiny new object or fleeting desire. It's about investing in the future version of yourself, the one capable of achieving real greatness. Think about it. Whether you're 24, just starting out, or 65, looking back on decades of choices, this conflict is universal. It's the entrepreneur weighing the grind of building a business against the urge to splurge on a luxury he hasn't truly earned yet. It's the husband choosing to spend quality time with his family instead of getting lost in endless entertainment. It's the man in his prime deciding between another quick fix or committing to the consistent effort needed for true health and well-being. Sure, here's a YouTube script for the introduction based on your requirements, designed to be engaging and inspiring for a US audience aged 24 to 65. Part 1. The Trap of Chasing, the Invisible Price of Instant Gratification. Alright, so we've established the battlefield inside every man. The pull of quick pleasure versus the pursuit of lasting greatness. Now, let's talk about the most common, and often most destructive, way many men unknowingly feed that lust side by constantly chasing. The cost of endless pursuit. It's a pattern I've seen play out countless times, in my own life and in the lives of men around me. We pour our energy, our time, our very essence into chasing things that are designed to give us a fleeting hit of validation. Often, this manifests as chasing women, chasing attention from others, or desperately seeking external approval. The unseen drain. What many men don't realize is that every time you engage in this kind of chasing, you're not just expending effort, you're losing something far more valuable. You're losing a piece of your self-respect. Think about it. When you're constantly trying to impress, to win over, to prove your worth to someone else, You implicitly tell yourself that your inherent value isn't enough, sacrificing your future potential. This relentless pursuit also drains your future potential. The energy you spend endlessly texting, obsessing over a like, or trying to contort yourself into someone else's ideal is energy that could be spent building skills, pursuing a passion, investing in your career, or simply becoming a stronger, more complete version of yourself. Society, unfortunately, often fuels this fire, from romantic comedies telling you to never give up on the chase, to social media platforms designed for constant external validation. The world whispers that more effort, more sacrifice, more proving your love will lead to lasting happiness. But here's the uncomfortable truth: it often backfires. The consequence of giving too much. You see it happen all the time. A man meets someone he's interested in, and suddenly, his entire world revolves around her. He cancels plans with friends, neglects his hobbies, puts his own dreams on hold. He's giving too much, chasing too hard, and the ironic result? He starts losing himself, and in doing so, he often pushes others away. The paradox of attraction. This might sound counterintuitive, but deep down, people aren't truly attracted to someone who has abandoned their own life and identity for them. What truly draws people in is a person who is full of life on their own. Someone with their own passions, their own direction, their own inner world. When you hand over your heart, your time, or your attention too easily, you're signaling a crucial message. You don't value yourself enough. You're showing that you're willing to give up your dreams, your mission, your inner strength, all in the hope that someone else will fill an empty space within you. The unfillable void. But here's a critical insight: no one else can fill that space. That void, that sense of emptiness, that craving for validation, it can only be filled by building your skills, your body, your career, your character. It can only be filled by waiting for the right opportunities, for genuine connections, for the fruits of your labor. And most importantly, it can only be filled by actively choosing discipline over lust in those daily, silent battles. Visuals transition to a man focused, working on a project, then looking up with a sense of purpose and quiet confidence. The path to true desirability. The cycle is vicious. Men chase. They get hurt. They wonder why nothing ever works. And then they chase again. This cycle persists because so many men simply don't understand these fundamental truths. They've been fed a narrative that real love or acceptance comes from outward effort, rather than inward strength. Lust is easy. Discipline is hard. The path of least resistance. The instant gratification is always tempting. It's the sugary drink after a long day. The endless scrolling. The quick thrill. But discipline, however difficult, is the true catalyst. It's the consistent gym sessions, the focused work on a difficult project, the conscious decision to put your long-term vision before short-term urges. And ironically, it's this very discipline that leads to everything you truly desire. It makes you magnetic. It makes you powerful. It transforms you into the kind of man that people naturally respect, admire, and genuinely desire to be around. So, if chasing has left you feeling depleted, questioning your worth, or endlessly frustrated, know this: there's a different path. A path that begins not with chasing others, but with turning that energy inward, Are you ready to stop chasing and start building? Part 2. Why chasing kills attraction, the paradox of pursuit. Alright, we've explored the inner battle and the costly trap of endless chasing. Now, let's unpack one of the most counterintuitive, yet profoundly true, aspects of attraction. Why chasing doesn't just fail to work, but actively pushes people away. The counterintuitive truth: the faster you chase, the faster she runs. It sounds strange, doesn't it? Our instincts tell us that if we want someone, we should show them more love, more effort, more attention. We think pouring ourselves into the pursuit will pull them closer, solidify the connection. But in reality, it often does the exact opposite. The harder you chase, the faster she runs. Chasing is needy energy. This isn't about playing games, it's about fundamental human psychology. Chasing isn't a display of strength or confidence. Instead, it reeks of neediness. It's an energy rooted in fear, fear of loss, fear of not being enough, fear of being alone, and it radiates desperation. Women, like most people, instinctively sense this. It's not something you can hide behind sweet words or grand gestures. This isn't a conscious thought on their part, it's a primal, unconscious recognition that something feels off, unbalanced. The unspoken message of chasing: when you chase, you're sending a powerful, often subconscious, message. You are more important than my life. I need you to feel happy. I need you to feel strong. My well-being depends on your presence. Think about that for a moment. Would you want someone clinging to you like you're their only source of happiness? Would you want someone making you the absolute center of their world after knowing you for just a short while? It's simply too much. It feels heavy. It feels unsafe, even suffocating. Nobody wants to carry that kind of weight. It's an unsustainable burden for any relationship. The appeal of self-sufficiency, becoming the mountain. So, if chasing repels, what attracts? It's the complete opposite. People are profoundly drawn to individuals who have their own center, their own vibrant life, and their own clear focus. They are drawn to men who are busy growing, building, and creating their own world. The power of self-directedness. When you stop chasing fast feelings and start relentlessly pursuing your own purpose, something incredibly powerful begins to happen. You're no longer trying to win women over. Instead, you're building a life so rich, so full, so alive that people naturally want to be a part of it. Shifting your identity. This is where the transformation occurs. You stop being the chaser, constantly pursuing external validation, and instead, you become the mountain, solid, grounded, stable, with its own undeniable presence. You become the prize, not the seeker. The world, and the people in it, can feel that energetic shift. It's no longer about neediness, it's about self-choice. You're choosing yourself, living your worth, and authentically being busy and focused on what truly matters to you. The magnetic result of self-focus. This shift is magnetic because true attraction isn't something you force. It's something you create by who you become. The true path to connection. You don't win a woman by giving her everything she wants, especially if what she wants is for you to abandon yourself. You win her, and you win in life, by giving yourself everything you need. This means dedicating yourself to your growth, your mission, your well-being, the transformation. When you genuinely stop chasing her and start pouring that energy into running after your own greatness, A profound change takes place. You become the man she simply can't ignore. You're not pretending to be busy, you are busy. You're not acting mysterious, you are focused. You're no longer trying to convince her you're enough. You already know you are. And in that quiet confidence, she feels safe, intrigued, and deeply pulled towards you. So, if you're tired of the endless cycle of chasing and coming up empty, it's time for a radical pivot. It's time to stop chasing and start building. What will you begin building today that will make you truly unstoppable? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Part 3. The power of space and purpose. Why true freedom attracts. Alright, we've talked about the trap of chasing. Now, let's reveal two incredibly powerful forces that are often misunderstood: the power of space and the magnetism of purpose. These aren't just abstract concepts. They are fundamental truths about human attraction and a fulfilling life. The secret power of space. It might sound counterintuitive, especially in a society that often equates constant closeness with love. But here's a profound truth. Space actually makes people want you more. Being too close, too soon, paradoxically makes people feel trapped. The bird analogy. Imagine you're in a forest and a beautiful bird lands gently on your hand. You're thrilled. Your first instinct might be to hold it tight, to clench your fist so it never flies away. But what happens? The harder you squeeze, the faster it struggles to escape. That's exactly what happens when you smother someone with too much time, too much attention, too soon. You make them feel like their freedom is gone. And nobody, not even someone who genuinely likes you, wants to feel trapped. The freedom to choose. Now, consider the opposite. What if you let the bird perch freely? You stay calm, open-handed. You let it choose to stay. Suddenly, it wants to stay longer, perhaps even return. This is the power of creating space. When you genuinely prioritize your own life, your goals, your health, your dreams, your passions, you naturally create this space. You're not playing games. You're simply living a life rich with things that genuinely matter to you. The attraction of curiosity. And guess what? That space doesn't push her away. It pulls her in. She becomes curious. What's he up to? Why isn't he always available? What's so important that he's busy? That curiosity blossoms into attraction. And that attraction evolves into a deeper desire to connect. It's not about manipulating her to miss you. It's about having a life so full and engaging that your time, your presence, becomes genuinely precious. When your world is exciting, meaningful, and rich without her, she wants to be part of it. Not because you forced her, but because she chooses to. That creates a bond far stronger than any amount of begging, chasing, or smothering ever could. Space truly makes the heart grow fonder, not silence or disappearing acts, but living fully and inviting her to meet you there. Why purpose makes you magnetic. Building on the power of space, let's talk about the ultimate attractor, purpose. Here's a secret most young men are never taught. Women aren't looking for a man to make them the center of his world. They're looking for a man who already has a world worth joining. The river analogy. Have you ever observed a powerful river? The water doesn't chase anything. It doesn't beg the rocks to move. It doesn't cry for attention. It simply flows, strong, steady, with an undeniable purpose. And what happens around it? Life gathers. Trees grow tall. Animals drink. Ecosystems flourish. That's what a man with purpose feels like. When you know who you are and where you're going, you become like that river. Women feel the pull. They sense the strength. They want to be near it. Not because you begged them, but because your very energy is magnetic. The common trap. But here's the trap that ensnares so many. A man meets a woman he really likes, and he drops everything. He stops chasing his goals. He skips the gym. He puts his dreams on hold. He makes her the center of his life. At first, she might enjoy the attention. But deep down, something feels wrong. The river has stopped flowing. The adventure is over. And soon, often without even knowing why, her heart begins to drift away. Being part of greatness. Women don't want to be the reason your greatness stops. They want to be part of your greatness. They want to see you waking up early, working hard, getting stronger, chasing your dreams. They want to admire you. They want to respect you. And true respect doesn't come from giving your whole heart away at the first chance. It comes from staying true to your path. Even when you're in love, your mission comes first. Your purpose must come first. Always. Not because you don't care about her, but because your life has meaning with or without her. And paradoxically, that unwavering independence is what makes her feel safe, excited, and deeply willing to invest in you. She knows you're not desperate. You're not empty. You're already full. And you've simply decided to share your incredible journey with someone worthy. A man without purpose is a lost ship. A man with purpose is unstoppable. Love can walk beside you, enhancing your journey, but it can never, ever replace your mission. So, what is the purpose you're building today that will make you truly irresistible? Share your thoughts below. Part 4. Scarcity, emotions, and self-approval, the foundations of unstoppable attraction. All right, we've explored the inner battle, the trap of chasing, and the magnetic power of space and purpose. Now, let's unlock 3 more profound secrets that will fundamentally shift how you approach attraction and, indeed, how you live your life. The power of scarcity, the mastery of your emotions, and the ultimate superpower of self-approval. The secret power of scarcity. Have you ever noticed that when something is rare, people chase it harder? Think about gold, diamonds, or even a limited edition watch. Their value isn't just in their utility, it's in their scarcity. People will camp outside stores for days, pay exorbitant prices, all because it's hard to get. The paradox of availability. Now, apply that to yourself. What happens when you're too easy to get? When you're always available, replying in 1 second, canceling plans for her without her even asking, making her your #1 priority from day one? You become common, and what's common quickly loses value. This isn't about playing games or being manipulative. It's about understanding a fundamental truth of human psychology. Scarcity creates value. Authentic scarcity. This isn't about pretending to be busy. It's about actually being busy, genuinely building your life, cultivating your mind, strengthening your body, pursuing your mission. When a man is truly focused on himself and his purpose, he naturally becomes less available. He's not living through his phone, he's living through his purpose. This natural scarcity makes you rare in a world full of men begging for attention. It makes her think about you, wonder what you're up to, and ultimately, crave your time because it feels earned, not freely given. Attracting the right woman. Some guys worry, but if I'm not always there, won't she lose interest? Here's the truth. If she loses interest because you're focusing on your dreams, she was never truly meant for you. A woman who is genuinely right for you will admire your ambition and respect your discipline. She'll work harder to be a part of your life. Being overly available robs you of your mystery, smothers natural tension, and extinguishes the excitement that fuels attraction. Live a big life, a life full of goals, friendships, fitness, and adventures, and you won't have to try to be scarce. You'll simply be scarce, and she will notice. Remember, you are the prize if you treat yourself like one. Mastering your emotions, the silent power. Next, let's talk about a silent power that defines truly strong men: emotional mastery. Have you ever seen a man lose everything because he couldn't control his feelings? One minute he's calm, the next he's sending angry texts, begging for attention, or acting out of fear. It happens faster than you think, and it destroys attraction every single time. The unshakable mountain. Here's the truth. Women are instinctively drawn to men who are calm, steady, and unshakable, like that strong mountain standing firm no matter how hard the storm blows. When you master your emotions, you become that mountain. You become the safe place, the steady hand, the man who doesn't panic under pressure. True emotional mastery. But listen closely. Mastering emotions doesn't mean you bury them deep and pretend they don't exist. That's not strength. That's fear masquerading as strength. True strength is allowing yourself to feel them, to understand them, and then to choose your actions with wisdom, not weakness. When you feel jealousy, breathe and think before you act. When you feel fear, step back and stay silent instead of reacting. When anger flares, control your hands, your voice, your face, and let the moment pass. The magnetic calm. This kind of control is rare. This kind of control is profoundly magnetic. A man who owns himself owns every room he walks into. Women sense this energy without you saying a word. It's in your walk, your smile, your ability to remain calm when others are losing their heads. Emotional control makes you unpredictable in the best way. It keeps you mysterious and powerful. You are not most men. You are the rare man who knows that true strength is calmness. That true power is patience. You don't chase validation. You don't beg for attention. You stand tall, steady, and silent when needed, and that silence speaks louder than any words. A man who can love deeply and stay calm becomes unforgettable. He becomes magnetic because his calmness makes her feel safe and respected. The secret power of self-approval. Finally, let's discuss the most dangerous weakness in a man, and its ultimate antidote: the need for external approval. Have you ever caught yourself doing things just to be liked? Changing your opinions to fit in? Or saying yes when you wanted to say no, just to make someone stay? Most men don't even notice it happening. But it's like a slow leak in a tire, tiny at first. Until one day, the whole thing collapses. Handing over your power. When you seek approval, you hand over your power. You make your happiness dependent on other people's reactions. And women can smell it. They sense when you're looking at them to tell you who you are. And it kills attraction instantly. A man who needs approval isn't leading his life, he's following feelings. Chasing smiles and fearing frowns. He bends instead of standing firm. The real superpower. But here's the good news: you can break free. You don't need the world to clap for you. You don't need her to always say you're right. You don't need anyone's permission to believe in yourself. Self-approval is the real superpower. It's that quiet, unwavering force inside that says, I know who I am. I know what I stand for. And I don't need anyone to tell me I'm enough. Because I already am. The magnetic confidence. This kind of inner strength changes everything. How you walk. How you speak. The energy you carry into every room. When you're proud of yourself, you don't panic if she pulls away. You don't crumble if she tests you. You don't beg, plead, or perform. You stay calm, solid, and authentically you. And strangely enough, this is what makes her feel safe with you. What makes her want to lean in, not pull away. Because deep down, every woman is searching for one thing. A man who does not waver. Win your own approval. Most guys think they need to chase women to win them. But the truth is, you only need to chase one thing, your own approval. When you are genuinely proud of the man you're becoming, it shines through your body language, echoes in your voice, and lives in your choices. When a woman sees that you don't need her to feel complete, that you're not desperate for her praise, that you could walk away if you had to, not because you want to, but because you respect yourself. She respects you more. She values you more. She desires you more. Self-approval is the root of all real attraction. Not fancy cars. Not muscles. Not smooth talk. It's the quiet, unshakable belief. I am enough. I will always be enough. And nothing outside of me gets to decide that. A man who lives this truth doesn't just win women, he wins in life. His power comes from the inside, and nothing outside can ever take it away. So, what steps will you take today to cultivate more self-approval? Let me know in the comments below. Part 5. Embracing negative visualization. The power of losing it all. Alright, we've explored the core principles of building a magnetic life. But how do you really steel yourself against the relentless pull of quick pleasure? Especially when you're deeply focused on success. Today, we're diving into a powerful, ancient Stoic secret that seems counterintuitive, yet is incredibly effective. Embracing negative visualization. The hidden fear. Losing what you've built. For men aged 24 to 65 in America, there's often a deep-seated drive to achieve and maintain success. We're talking about careers, financial stability, a strong family unit, and a respected place in the community. With all that striving comes a powerful, often unspoken, fear. The fear of losing it all. The Stoics, wise philosophers from ancient Greece and Rome, didn't shy away from this fear, they confronted it head-on. The lure of lust versus the shield of discipline. The core idea here is simple. Lust, that desire for instant gratification. For the easy way out, it promises you immediate satisfaction. It whispers sweet nothings of comfort and pleasure. But, as we've discussed, this often leads to profound regret and significant, long-term losses. Think of the momentary thrill that jeopardizes a decade of trust, or the fleeting indulgence that chips away at your health goals. Conversely, discipline demands short-term sacrifice. It's the harder path in the moment. Yes, but it is precisely this discipline that actively protects and develops everything you truly value in your life. The Stoic tactic, negative visualization. So, how do you harness this? The Stoics practiced something called negative visualization, or premeditatio malorum. Though we'll save that full deep dive for another time. How to practice it? Dedicate a few minutes each day to genuinely imagine losing what you value most due to a lapse in discipline. Due to giving in to lust. Visualize the loss of respect. See yourself losing the profound respect from your partner, your children, your friends, all because you prioritized a fleeting urge over your integrity. Imagine your career crumbling. Picture the career you've painstakingly built, the financial security you've worked so hard for, dissolving because of impulsive, short-sighted decisions driven by desire. Feel the decline in health. Envision your health deteriorating, your vitality fading, due to unchecked bad habits that offered momentary pleasure but long-term pain. Sense the erosion of inner peace. Contemplate the loss of your hard-won inner peace, replaced by anxiety, regret, and the constant chase for something external that never truly satisfies. Why it's so powerful? This isn't about wallowing in negativity or manifesting bad outcomes. Quite the opposite. This raw, honest look at the worst possible consequences creates a kind of electric shock to your system. It jolts you awake from the hypnotic spell of lust. This practice isn't designed to sow fear, but to cultivate a profound sense of gratitude for what you currently have. It clarifies your priorities and powerfully reinforces your determination to protect those blessings through unwavering discipline. It makes the hard choices of discipline feel not like a burden, but like a privilege and a necessary act of self-preservation. Consider this. What if all you've built, your family, your career, your reputation, your peace of mind, was gone because of a single, impulsive, 5-minute decision? The Stoics understood this profound secret. By contemplating the worst, you empower yourself to live for the best. This isn't just an exercise, it's a mental martial art. It's how you build an internal fortress against the seductions that threaten to derail your greatest aspirations. Try it. See how this simple, yet radical, mental shift can strengthen your resolve and bring a newfound appreciation for the power of discipline. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Part 6. The Amor Fati Mindset. Loving your chosen struggle. Hey everyone, and welcome back. We've been unpacking powerful Stoic principles to win the inner battle between lust and discipline. Today, we're diving into another profound secret, one that might just transform how you view every challenge in your life: the Amor Fati mindset. The reality of modern masculinity, pressure and the easy way out. For men in the 24 to 65 age range, life often feels like a constant gauntlet of pressures and challenges. You're juggling career ambitions, family responsibilities, personal growth, and the ever-present demands of a fast-paced world. The path to building something meaningful, whether it's a successful career, a strong body, or a deep relationship, is rarely smooth. It's filled with setbacks, hard work, and moments where the temptation to just give up, to take the easy way out, is incredibly strong. Discipline's uphill climb. The path of discipline is, by its very nature, often an uphill climb. It demands consistent effort, patience, and a willingness to embrace discomfort. It's the early mornings at the gym when you'd rather sleep in, the focused work session when social media beckons, the difficult conversation you choose to have instead of avoiding it. Lust's deceptive offer, in contrast. Lust, that craving for instant pleasure or immediate relief, always appears as the easy exit ramp. It promises to alleviate the pressure, to soothe the discomfort, to offer a quick escape from the grind. It whispers, "Why work so hard when you can feel good now?" This is the fundamental conflict. The demanding road of discipline versus the seemingly effortless path of desire. The Stoic strategy. Amor fati, loving your fate. The Stoics, those ancient masters of resilience, didn't advocate avoiding these difficulties. Instead, they taught something far more radical: to embrace them, not just to accept them, but to actually love the path you've chosen, including all its struggles. This is the essence of amor fati, which translates to love of fate, or more broadly, love of what is, redefining your relationship with effort. Instead of viewing discipline as a heavy burden or a forced obligation, the amor fati mindset asks you to see it as an integral, essential part of the great journey you have chosen. Embrace the grind. Learn to love the grueling process of a tough workout, knowing it's forging a stronger you. Cherish the patience. Find satisfaction in the deliberate, patient effort required in your work, understanding it's building something lasting. Welcome the refusal. Embrace the act of saying no to momentary temptations, seeing it not as deprivation, but as an active choice to align with your higher self. A personal example. Think about a time you pushed through a really tough project. Maybe you hated parts of it, but when it was done, the sense of accomplishment wasn't just despite the struggle, but because of it. The Stoics would say, love the struggle itself. Why this mindset is so powerful. When you truly love your chosen struggle, you fundamentally transform your internal landscape. Pressure becomes fuel. You stop seeing pressure as something to escape and start viewing it as the fuel for your growth. The very things that might have caused stress or resentment now become opportunities for strength and mastery. Fighting for your higher self. You're no longer simply battling against lust or temptation. You're fighting for a greater version of yourself. This shift is critical. You're not just avoiding weakness, you're actively building strength, character, and resilience. Finding joy in the journey. When you embrace amor fati, you begin to find profound joy and meaning in the very process of disciplined effort. The sacrifices stop feeling like sacrifices and start feeling like fulfilling acts of self-creation. The discomfort becomes a sign of progress. This mindset turns the entire struggle into a source of deep satisfaction and intrinsic reward. Stop seeing discipline as a punishment you inflict on yourself. As the Stoics wisely said, love your fate, love the grind, love the challenge, because that's precisely where true strength is forged. It's not about what you avoid, it's about what you choose to embrace. What part of your struggle can you start loving today? Share your thoughts in the comments. Part 7. The Premeditatio Malorum Practice. Anticipating Temptation's Attack. Hey everyone, and welcome back. We're continuing our deep dive into the Stoic secrets for winning that crucial inner battle. We've talked about embracing the struggle. But how do you prepare for the inevitable attacks of temptation? Today, we're unveiling a powerful ancient practice known as premeditatio malorum, or anticipating temptation's attack. The modern battlefield. A world full of temptation. Look around. For men in today's world, especially those navigating careers, relationships, and personal growth between the ages of 24 and 65. We're constantly bombarded by temptations. From the endless scroll of social media to the allure of instant entertainment. From subtle pushes in social interactions to direct appeals to our desires. Lust often attacks from unexpected angles. Lust's sneak attack. The core truth here is that lust, that desire for instant gratification, for short-term pleasure, rarely sends you an invitation. It typically exploits your moments of weakness, your lack of preparation, or when you're simply caught off guard. It's like a predator that waits for its prey to be distracted, then pounces. You might be deep in focus. Then dang, a notification, and suddenly you're lost down a rabbit hole. You might be on track with your diet. Then you walk past a bakery and bam, the craving hits hard. These are moments where unpreparedness allows desire to gain control. The Stoic strategy, premeditatio malorum, foreseeing evils. The Stoics, true masters of mental fortitude, understood this. They knew that relying solely on willpower in the moment of temptation is a losing game. Their solution? Proactive mental preparation. They called it premeditatio malorum, literally, foreseeing evils, or, in our context, anticipating and preparing for temptation. How to practice it? This isn't about dwelling on negativity, it's about strategic foresight. Before you step into a situation where temptations are likely to arise, take a conscious moment to mentally rehearse what those specific temptations might look like. Scenario 1. The evening scroll. Before you sit down after work, knowing you're prone to mindless scrolling, what's the specific temptation? The urge to pick up your phone, open social media, and lose an hour. Scenario 2. The social gathering. Before you go to a party where you might be tempted to overindulge or seek external validation, what's the specific temptation? The desire for another drink, the urge to dominate the conversation, the craving for attention from someone new. Scenario 3. The impulse buy. Before you browse online or walk through a store, knowing you might be tempted by unnecessary purchases, what's the specific temptation? The feeling of, I deserve this. The excitement of a new gadget. Create your response script once you've identified the specific temptation. Prepare a clear, concise response script in your mind. For the evening scroll, when I feel the urge to pick up my phone, I will instead open my book, journal, workout app. For the social gathering, if I feel the urge to drink too much, I will get a glass of water. If I crave attention, I will focus on asking others meaningful questions. For the impulse buy, before I click add to cart, I will ask myself, do I truly need this? Or is this just a momentary desire? Why this practice is so powerful? When you proactively anticipate temptation's attack, you do something profound. You strip away its element of surprise. From reactive to proactive, you transform yourself from a reactive individual, caught off guard by every urge, into a proactive, strategic individual with a clear plan. This simple act of foresight significantly boosts your self-control and dramatically reduces your likelihood of making impulsive, regrettable mistakes. You're no longer playing defense. You're playing offense by disarming the temptation before it even has a chance to take root. Building mental fortitude. This practice builds mental muscle. Each time you successfully anticipate and counter a temptation, you strengthen your ability to do so in the future, creating a virtuous cycle of discipline and self-mastery. Remember, Lust doesn't wait for permission. It attacks. But the Stoics, with their timeless wisdom, gave us a secret weapon, premeditatio malorum. Don't just react, anticipate. By knowing your enemy, you gain immense power over it. What's one temptation you can premeditate and prepare for this week? Share your strategy in the comments. Part 8. Cultivating the inner citadel, your unconquerable core. Hey everyone, and welcome back. We're nearing the end of our journey into these powerful Stoic secrets. We've explored everything from embracing struggle to anticipating temptation. But what ties all of this together? What's the ultimate foundation for winning the war between lust and discipline? It's about building something that no external force can ever touch. Your unconquerable core. Your inner citadel. The external pressure versus the lost self. For men navigating modern life, especially those in the 24 to 65 age range, the external pressures are immense. Society constantly bombards us with expectations, from media dictating what success looks like, to the relentless pursuit of external validation, to the pressure to conform. This constant external influence can often cause us to lose our bearings, to feel adrift, and even to lose touch with our true selves. We chase what others tell us is important, only to find ourselves feeling empty. The mind as the battlefield. The core insight here is that the battle between lust and discipline, ultimately, is not fought in the outside world. It's a war waged entirely within your own mind. Lust, in all its forms, is always seeking to breach your inner peace, to hijack your self-control, by dangling the promise of fleeting pleasure or easy escape. It's a mental game, and if you don't have a strong internal defense, you'll constantly be on the losing side. The Stoic strategy. Building the inner citadel. The Stoics, particularly Emperor Marcus Aurelius, spoke about this concept of an inner citadel, a spiritual and mental fortress within yourself that remains untouched by external chaos. What is your inner citadel? This inner citadel is that untouchable mental space where you can find stillness, a place where you can quiet the noise, detach from external pressures, and find profound calm, achieve clarity. A sanctuary where you can think clearly, free from emotional turbulence or external manipulation. Uphold core values. A stronghold where you can consistently hold true to your deepest principles and values, no matter what external circumstances arise. How do you build it? You build and strengthen this citadel through consistent practice. Mindfulness and self-awareness. Regularly check in with your thoughts and emotions, observing them without judgment. This helps you recognize when lust or external pressure is trying to invade. Reflection on principles. Continually reflect on your core values. What truly matters to you? What kind of man do you want to be? Anchoring yourself to these principles reinforces your inner walls. Focus on control. The most powerful tool is understanding what truly lies within your control. Only your reactions to things, external events, other people's actions, unforeseen circumstances, these are outside your control. But your response, your judgment, your choice of action, these are always yours. By focusing your energy here, you strengthen your inner dominion. Why this fortress is unconquerable? When you cultivate a robust inner citadel, something remarkable happens. Impenetrable willpower, the seductive whispers of lust, the clamor of external desires, will no longer be able to shake you to your core. They might knock on the gate, but they won't be able to breach your defenses. You won't be swept away by momentary emotions or external cravings. Master of your own domain, you become the undisputed master of your own self. You are no longer a puppet swayed by every fleeting sensation or the opinions of others. You become a man with a clear moral compass and an unyielding will. Unyielding to any temptation. This isn't about being rigid or unemotional. It's about having such profound self-possession that your choices are always aligned with your highest self. The source of true power, this inner strength changes everything. It's the ultimate source of true power that no one can take away. The world will throw everything at you. It will test your resolve, challenge your purpose, and tempt your desires. But the Stoics built something nobody, no circumstance, no fleeting pleasure could ever take from them: the inner citadel. Your mind, your fortress, your unconquerable core, it is your ultimate weapon against lust. So, I challenge you. What steps will you take today to fortify your own inner citadel? To build that unshakable core that will guide you through any storm? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Conclusion: discipline and true power, your ultimate victory. Alright, we've walked through the battlefield within every man. We've exposed the traps of chasing, uncovered the magnetic power of space and purpose, and revealed the Stoic secrets of scarcity, emotional mastery, and self-approval. Now, let's tie it all together and reveal the profound truth about discipline and true power. Why too much access kills desire. First, let's circle back to a crucial, often overlooked, principle: the paradox of abundance. The valued versus the common. Think about anything you've ever wanted desperately as a kid: a specific toy, a new gadget. You dreamed about it, begged for it, counted down the days, but once you finally got it, and it was always there, always available at your fingertips, what happened? Often, the excitement faded. It became easy to take for granted. This truth is absolutely massive when it comes to relationships and attraction. Yet almost no one talks about it. When you make yourself too available to a woman, you instantly become less exciting. The myth of constant attention. Many men think, if I give her all my time and attention, she'll love me more. But no, that's not how the psychology of attraction works. Scarcity is what makes something valuable, not abundance. Gold is precious because it's rare. Diamonds are coveted because they're hidden and hard to find. You are the gold. When you give her endless access, texting all day, calling every hour, dropping everything for her, you make yourself common. And common things, by definition, aren't valued. The power of distance. This isn't about being rude or ignoring her. It's about genuinely living a life so full and rich that you are naturally, authentically, not always available. When she feels she can have you anytime, her excitement, her curiosity, her imagination, they all fade. But when she feels a little distance, when she realizes you have your own dreams, your own world, your own fire, her mind starts working overtime. She wonders what you're up to, why you're not chasing. She begins to feel that magnetic pull of a man who has his own life. This isn't a game, it's the fundamental dynamic of nature. Scarcity keeps the fire alive by giving her the precious gift of missing you. Guard your time, guard your energy, build yourself, your mind, your body, your mission. When you show up, you won't have to prove your worth. Your worth will be obvious. You are not easy to have. You are not easy to keep. And you are certainly not easy to replace. The ultimate weapon, calmness. Next, let's talk about a silent, yet formidable, weapon in your arsenal, calmness. The power of stillness. Have you ever noticed why the calmest man in the room always seems the most powerful? Why the one who says the least often controls the most? It's no accident, it's emotional mastery. Most men live reactively. They get angry if someone looks at them wrong. Jealous if a woman talks to another man. Desperate if a text isn't answered in 5 minutes. Their emotions own them. They become puppets, controlled by every little external pull. And women can sense this chaos, this weakness, the mountain in the storm. But imagine this: you face rejection, and you stay calm. You meet disappointment, and you stay calm. You feel a pang of jealousy, but you breathe deep and stay calm. You don't explode, you don't collapse, you don't chase or beg. You stand firm, like a mountain. This calmness commands respect. It invites curiosity. It builds deep, unwavering attraction, because calmness sends a message no words ever could. I am bigger than my emotions. I am bigger than this moment. I am bigger than anything trying to shake me. True strength. Most men believe emotions are enemies to be smashed down or buried deep. But that's not strength. That's fear pretending to be strong. True strength is feeling everything and still choosing calmness. It's standing in the middle of a storm and saying, I see it, I feel it, but it does not own me. A man who can love deeply and stay calm becomes rare, unforgettable, magnetic. His calmness makes her feel safe and seen, without being smothered. It makes her respect you without you ever demanding it. The world will throw storms at you. It will try to make you kneel, to beg, to chase, to rage. But if you stay calm, you stay in control. And the man who stays in control of himself stays in control of his life. The man who chooses discipline over desire. This brings us to the ultimate truth. The core of everything we've discussed. The real battle is not between you and the world, but between you and your own desires. The daily war, every single day. A silent war is fought inside you. The voice of lust whispers, chase her, prove yourself, get her attention now, feel good now. The voice of discipline says, stay steady, stay silent, build your world first, trust the process. Which voice wins ultimately decides what kind of man you become. The cost of short-term validation. Most men lose this battle without even knowing it. They hand over their energy, their focus, their purpose, all for a few fleeting moments of validation. They believe getting her heart will make them feel like a man. But real manhood doesn't come from chasing love, it comes from mastering yourself. The unstoppable man. Here's the secret the world won't tell you. When you control your desires, you control everything. When you can feel attraction and still focus on your goals. When you can feel temptation and still stay loyal to your mission. When you can feel lonely and still keep walking your path, you become unstoppable. Lust promises you quick happiness, saying, give in now, you deserve it, but every time you surrender to it, you trade your long-term strength for short-term pleasure. And after the pleasure fades, you're left weaker than before. Discipline builds self-respect. Discipline, on the other hand, builds something no woman, no fame, no money can ever give you: self-respect. Every time you say no to a lower version of yourself. Every time you stay committed to your bigger vision. Every time you walk away from easy pleasure and choose growth instead. You build an inner fire that no one can take away. The final power move. This is the magic twist most men miss. When you choose discipline over desire. When you build your life instead of chasing hers. She senses it. Women can smell a man who is addicted to chasing. They can also smell a man who doesn't need to chase. The second man is rare. He's desirable because he desires himself and his purpose more than anything else. She doesn't want to be the center of his life. She wants to earn a place in it. This is the ultimate power move. You don't push her away. You don't play games. You simply stay true to your purpose. Your growth. Your higher self. You become a man who isn't destroyed by lust, but is lifted by discipline. In doing so, you don't just win her heart, you win your own soul. That's the real victory. That's the real freedom. That's the real power. You are not here to beg for love. You are here to build a life so powerful that love becomes the bonus, not the goal. So, choose discipline. Win the battle. Become the man you were born to be. You've now unlocked the profound truths that separate a life of fleeting satisfaction from one of deep, unwavering power. The choice is yours. Continue to be swayed by every momentary desire, or seize control of your destiny. It's time to stop wishing for greatness and start building it. If you're ready to commit to that higher version of yourself and join a community dedicated to genuine transformation, hit the like button, share this video with another man who needs to hear this, and subscribe to the channel, turning on notifications so you don't miss our next step towards becoming truly unstoppable.